live and pre-recorded. This is the Red Ticket Blues podcast. I am Brian Buckley. This is being recorded on June 18th to hit the internets on June 19th. How is everybody doing? I am wonderful wherever you are, wherever you may be, in your car, in your cubicle, at your dinner table. How many people listen to it at dinner? You know, with the family, bring the kids around. Everyone gather around. Red Ticket Blues is on. I don't want to listen to this. Henry, do we have to listen to this? Yes, we do. Eat your hungry man dinner. I'd pay for this. All right, so where are we? I am doing a second podcast this week to go over the NBA Finals are done. So if you are not a baseball fan, it's a long, hot summer and tough shit. This is the way it is. You're going to have to deal with it. We'll go over the NBA Finals. We'll talk about the Warriors. They are 50% of the story. The other 50% is LeBron being LeBron. He's he is a polarizing figure, almost to the point of Alex Rodriguez. Now we'll talk about that. We will address the Cardinal hacking. Yes, hacking. The St. Louis Cardinals are hacking. Did you get that? Hacking? Are hacking, or being accused of hacking the Houston Astros. That's the world we live in now. Baseball is a sport predicated on cheating, going back to way back when, and it continues now into the new stratosphere of this technology of just hacking into people's systems for a competitive edge. We'll briefly take on the Royals. Yes, the Kansas City Royals, because they basically are the American League starters in the All Star Game. And we will touch on Pablo Sandoval and how he doesn't actually just like Instagram. He loves it so much that he can't stop doing it at any time. But we will begin, and let me just relaxing here with I'll tell you I'm relaxing with a classic, the Dogfish Head Ale 60-minute IPA, which I will tell you, an underrated option. Stop and Shop, create your own six-pack. I know. Many of you say, I go to my local guy. I want to support local businesses. I understand that I'm not knocking you. But, I mean, that's a great deal. So, that's my 2 cents. Hey, Brian, shut up. All right. The NBA Finals are over. The Golden State Warriors are victorious, winning the series 4-2 over the Cleveland Cavaliers. The MVP, Andre Igudala, what did he average? He averaged 16 points a game, 5.8 rebounds, and 4 assists. He was pretty good. He came up big in a lot of spots. I'm not sure if he should have won the MVP. That dreadful free throw shooting, 35%. Those were just bricks. They were ugly to watch. They hurt watching. Stephen Curry, after a slow start in the beginning of the series, really turned it on in the last few games. He started showing that stroke that people already want to say he's the best shooter ever. I'm not ready to say that yet. If you listen to Bill Burr's recent podcast, I have to agree with him 100%. It's not even a sports podcast, but he was talking about it. He does this for 5 more years, what he just did. 4 more years, 3 more years. Give me 3 more years, and I'll say he's one of the best ever. This was a great season. I know he's had great seasons, but there has to be some sort of durability and consistency with this. But he does make it look easy. He makes it look very easy. I mean, he averaged 26 points a game, 5 rebounds, 6 assists in the NBA Finals. He was probably the most deserving MVP. I thought if you're going to give it to someone with stats similar to Igudala's, Draymond Green's was also, it was quite similar. He is a head case. He was mentioned several times throughout the telecast that, you know, his grandmother and his mother had to tell him to stop yelling at the refs. He's another one. I've mentioned this before. He has never thought a foul called on him was a legitimate foul, except for the ones where he sarcastically puts his hands up. But he is good. He was another one who struggled in the beginning, but he came through. What can you say? Klay Thompson, he is a guy who is lucky the Warriors won this. We were talking about the Warriors winning and LeBron being amazing but coming up short. If the Warriors were lost this, there would have been fingers pointed at Klay Thompson. I mean, he fouled out of Game 6. With 5 points. And now, I thought he was worse from the field because, I mean, he did have his moments. He did average 15.8 points a game. So, I guess I can't say he stinks, but when his team needed him there, and I should take into consideration, he was bleeding from the ear a few weeks ago and vomiting and couldn't drive his car. I guess we should take that into consideration, but did he stink? In that last game, He stunk.
You stink.
And just to think, Steve Kerr, this has been brought up a million times, Steve Kerr was verbally committed. The reports are that he was verbally committed to the New York Knicks. He could have been coaching the New York Knicks, that abomination of a team. Instead, he beat Carmelo's sloppy seconds, former Knick players on the Cleveland Cavaliers. People that couldn't do anything for LeBron James. He was amazing. That goes without saying. He, for the first time ever, led both teams in points, rebounds, and assists, which is truly something else. The rest of the Cavs, well, they were pretty awful. You got LeBron James, who averaged 35.8 points a game, 13.3 rebounds, and 8.8 assists. He almost averaged a triple-double. And you know what the next score is after that? It drops from 35.8 to 14 points. And that was Timothy Mozgov, who's basically, the last few games, was a non-factor, who barely played any minutes. I mean, LeBron James, 274 minutes played. Timothy Mozgov, 170 minutes. And the next scorer after that was ironically J.R. Smith, who couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Cliche city. What can you say? You can technically say that Kyrie Irving averaged 23 points a game. He played in one game, so that's not real, though. Now, LeBron before, he made the comment, he said he's the best player in the world, and Klay Thompson actually had a funny line after the Warriors won the championship.
It just feels good to say, we're the best team in the world with the best player on the world. This man sitting next to me.
I thought that was good, at least. If you're going to stink, you got to have at least good material, and he did. But LeBron, he I know what he's trying to say when he says things. We all know he's the best in the world. He wants to let people know he's the best in the world, so he made that statement. I don't think he meant it as an egotist. Maybe he did. I don't know. He did make a statement after the loss, though, the final game, that they ran out of talent. And that's another thing. It is true. They ran out of talent. That team was not good. That was, like I said, that was...
we ran out of talent.
He played with mellow rejects and an Australian that shouldn't be in the league, or shouldn't be a starter in the league. But when you say you ran out of talent, you know what that just says to that entire team, to those people that are going to be on your team next year? We're not good enough to play with you, LeBron, and you told the whole world that. It's the sort of stuff that needs to not be said. He's very much like Alex Rodriguez in that way. Like I said earlier, they're both polarizing figures, and it may be, helped with social media, and players' lives are a lot more visible now than they ever have been. But they're similar, though, when you think about it. They both come from, troubled backgrounds. Not troubled, but difficult family situations. They both were phenoms at a young age. They both make a lot of money. Alex Rodriguez was an 18-year-old in Major League Baseball when he was 18. LeBron James just signed a $90 million contract with Nike before he played an NBA game. They both switched teams in dramatic fashion. Them switching teams was enormous. They both have been criticized mightily, even when most of their stats look amazing. They both criticize mightily for not coming up in the clutch. And they both have a tremendous proclivity to put their foot in their mouth. Now, Alex has done it probably more than LeBron has, but Alex has also had a little more experience. He's 39 years old. I think LeBron's only 30. So give LeBron give him a chance. He can get there. Just give him a shot. And there were also the issues that came out today by ESPN reporter. I have to find the story here exactly, but in regards to his relationship with the Coach Blatt, another thing that wasn't a secret, but apparently LeBron thinks he runs the show, and to a certain extent he does. He's LeBron James, but he would call timeouts. He wouldn't listen to Blatt. He would tell them, I am basically rolling his eyes, yelling when the play was not up to his standards, making Blatt change everything, calling timeouts himself, like I said, arranging the plays, not looking at Blatt, and only dealing with Tyronn Lue. I don't know what the Cavaliers do from here. Well, first of all, let's talk about LeBron James. That is a legendary player doing that. And people can say, Jordan probably did stuff like that too. Yeah, I know. What do you want? It's part of it. Do you think it was that disrespectful to a coach, though? Do you think Jordan had an input in the plays? I'm sure he did, and LeBron should have input in the plays, too. He is the star. But to take over and to disrespect the coach in front of the other players, do you think J.R. Smith is... Well, that's a bad example. He's not going to listen to the coach anyways. But do you think Imam Shumpert is all of a sudden going to listen to Blatt when you see a superstar like LeBron James shrug him away like garbage? Are you? That sends a terrible message. How is his future with the team when LeBron James, the star of the team, the star of the league, the best player in the world, treats him like that? What can you do? And what can Blatt do now? Do they keep him? They're already paying, I think they're still paying Mike Brown. And they would be paying Blatt if they got rid of him. And then another player. So that's 3 coaches. LeBron James is worth 3 coaches. And that team. LeBron. LeBron is still an amazing player. He's now 2-4 in the finals. But, hey, the finals are over. Steph Curry and, boy, you had to love the picture of Steph Curry after the game on the flight home back to California. They partied it up. Harrison Barnes, a forward for the Warriors, had never touched alcohol before that game. He was loaded like Keanu Clark. No, before that game, he had never drank before. And he drank that day. I guess he had some champagne that night. Who knows how wasted he got, but Curry got wasted enough where he was laying, or maybe just passed out, whatever way you want to put it. I'm sure he indulged in spirits, laying on the just aisle of the plane, asleep, holding the trophy. Yeah, I've passed out in a lot of places. I'm sure none of them are even in the same conversation as that feeling passing out for Steph Curry. So, the NBA is over. We'll go over the draft, because the draft is very soon. We have a surprise mystery Latvian Orthodox. Maybe we'll wear the big hat to the draft that is approaching the top 2, possibly. This guy could be better than Okafor, and many experts are thinking that Karl Towns from Kentucky is going to be the number 1 pick. We will see, but that is a story for next week. We'll dive right into this Cardinals hacking story. Now, the St. Louis Cardinals are being accused of hacking into the Houston Astros, their database. And where did I have the story here? Let me stall as I look for this. No, the CEO Bill DeVitt and GM John Mozeliak have basically minimized the situation. They're saying it's being taken out. They're of the St. Louis Cardinals, I should say, are minimizing the situations and also deflecting it, saying this is a federal matter being handled by the FBI. And a lot of people have the idea that, or have the feeling that it is all centered around the Astros GM, who is a former Cardinals employee by the name of Jeff Luhnow. You may have heard my voice change. I was moving around the microphone, so I'm sorry if that did not enhance your listening pleasure. But some are saying that the exit was a little messy. He's saying it wasn't. And what the Cardinals, and you get the idea that this wasn't some sort of sophisticated attack. This wasn't the Chinese or the Russians or the United States and their daily battles. Do you people realize that every day we're doing that? I don't know if that many people... Yeah, Brian, you're the one with the only information. No one else knows this. You're just privy to all this sort of top secret stuff. Every day they're doing this. They're trying to hack into each other's systems. And this looks like... This is what you hear. I don't know how accurate this is, but you hear that guys on the guys on the Cardinals had a list of passwords for this guy Luhnow that were sort of just, we still had, and said, hey, let's see if we can get into the Astros database with these old passwords. And they did. I don't know what kind of information they got, but it's a major... I'm not going to minimize the actual event because it looks like it was hacking. Do you want to look at the word hacking? You want to look at what that means, what it's doing? Yeah, that's what they did. But at the same time, I don't think this is a long-term cheating pyramid that the Cardinals have constructed why they've dominated baseball. Not dominated, but why they've been so successful in baseball because they hack in other people's systems. It's amazing. Baseball. Steroids, greenies, stealing signs, spiked cleats, corked bats, now hacking into computer systems. And the Cardinals are supposed to be the classy ones. The Cardinals are the classiest organization. They're the holier-than-thou team that likes to rub it in people's nose. We do it the right way. Except for when Mark McGwire did lots of steroids. But we do it the right way. And if you have a moment, go to Google Images right now and put in Belichick Cardinals. It is astounding how many images there are of Bill Belichick either wearing Cardinals gear or associating with Cardinals players, coaches. And they're not Photoshopped. They're real. It's such irony. You couldn't even script it for Hollywood. But you could, but no one would believe it. And another thing going on in baseball right now, the All Star Game, July 2nd, I believe. Yes, that's when the All Star Game is. It is in Cincinnati this year, as if anyone really cares. But the big story is for the American League, outside of the pitcher, there are 9 positions available. No, there aren't. There's 8 pitches. 8. Hey, hold on. 1, 4. Yes. There's 8, exactly. Whew. Almost forgot what the hell's going on here. Catcher, 4, 7, 8. One of them is... Okay, I'm getting my numbers all mixed up here. 8 guys plus Trout. All right, basically... long story short here, tremendous preparation here. I wrote down 8 guys plus Trout, but that doesn't make any sense. Does it? Wait, 3, 4, 8. This has to be 7. 7 guys plus Trout. 2, 6. Yes, so 7 guys plus Trout. All right, let's get this podcast back together here. So the Royals, they have had tremendous fan support, quote unquote, and the entire American League is dominated by the Kansas City Royals outside of Mike Trout at all the starting positions, which people are thinking, what the hell is going on here? What the hell is going on? I mean, this also includes guys like Omar Infante, who is leading all second basemen in votes. He's batting .210. That was through Monday. And Alex Rios, who is batting .214 and missed a month and a half due to injury, is ranking 4th among the outfielders. So what the hell is going on here? It's almost like this ridiculous system of Major League Baseball allowing people to vote up to 35 times is coming back to bite them in the ass. And of all teams, the Kansas City Royals. Sure, they were in the World Series last year, but what if they become some sort of, national powerhouse where you see people wearing Royals gear all the time? You don't. So these are the guidelines for voting, okay? MLB has made a concerted effort to investigate votes. This is because they think something's up. They say they're going to investigate votes that come from accounts created using email addresses that appear to have been tweaked in some way that too closely resemble another address, multiple voting accounts that come from the same IP address, and troubling patterns in voting that emerged during the reviews by a third-party company employed to chart All Star Game balloting trends. So, baseball is going to create an investigation to find out why votes are a certain way. This is the same organization that for years just wouldn't even acknowledge steroids in the game, but they're going to hire a third party to investigate votes. And what happens at that point? Do we just remove all the votes? This is quite a system they have put together here, and someone's got to be behind this. There has to be some sort of concerned effort to do this. This doesn't happen. Not everyone woke up and said, "Hey, let's all vote for the Royals." There has to be, and you'd think that there'd be some news about it. Some deadspin thing say, "Come on, vote Royals. Let's make a mockery of this." But we'd know about it. It's almost like maybe they're communicating in like Yahoo chat rooms. We'll switch it up because like they said that terrorists that were behind 9/11 were chatting in Yahoo sports chat rooms. So maybe people are chatting in Arab chat rooms about this. That joke fell completely flat, didn't it? Boy, there was no comedy involved in that. That was bad. But I said this, like I said, about the basketball All-Star Game. Football, no one cares because it's after the season. Hockey, I don't know what they do. Basketball All-Star Game, that's sort of stuff in baseball. I'm including that in the same. I don't find them interesting. They're for children. I like the idea of seeing them be announced because their hard work has gotten them there. And yes, I'm a grown man, and I'm taking pleasure in seeing someone improve. Not like the LeBron James of the world and the Mike Trouts, but the guys that really work hard. And you follow a team for a long time, and you see a guy struggle and go through a lot and get there. That's good to see. But the game itself, I don't care. And one of the main issues I have with the Major League Baseball All Star Game is ever since they decided that they have to have one representative from each team be there, that's ridiculous. That's a participatory trophy life we're living. Everyone has to be there. Billy has to make the All Star team. Ugh, whatever, man. I don't know. I just missed that generation. I just missed it. Because my brother got all the trophies. Well, he was on good teams, too. But I noticed that he started getting trophies just for being there. Hey, Frankie, you rolled around in mud all week, you couldn't catch a fly ball, and you cried every time you struck out. You deserve a trophy because you're a winner. Congratulations. That's going to help you over later on in life when you don't get a job. And you cry about it. You go to social media and say bad things. And that's life. Tough shit. Crybabies. Are we talking about the Royals? All right. So we'll have to see what happens there. Because if they make this and this third party for Major League Baseball doesn't actually, or whatever they do, someone's going to announce that they were behind it. There's somebody behind it. This can't be natural. This can't be organic. It's not. It's the Kansas City Royals. Come on. And finally, we end tonight. Is there any NFL news? This was what I was going to end with. Des Bryant's holding out, and I don't blame him. You know, this is the one sport where they deserve the money. They get their asses kicked. We want to see them get their asses kicked, and they don't get paid enough. Des Bryant brings up a great point. He's franchised. A guy who can make some serious cash. He's been franchised. Meaning, you know, he's there for a year. They control him for a year. Now he's getting paid $14 million, but, you know, what if he broke his leg? What if he's never the same? He could have signed a big contract. There has to be some sort of insurance policy for franchise guys. I don't like that rule. But guys should be able to hold out if they want to. And I don't mean this Darrelle Revis holdout where he does it every year. You're going to sign a contract, honor it. But when you're ready for that big contract, or when your value goes up a huge amount, like you have a breakout year, you should get your money and get paid. They should, and if they want to guarantee, you got to understand though, if they're going to guarantee those contracts, the salaries are going to plummet. The non-guaranteed contracts, that's what the NFL lives by. Give them their money. Give big signing bonuses. These fat cat teams, it's disgusting. Johnny Manziel is no longer going to do the money sign. That's important. I need to know what trademark moves of people that appear in 2 games a year are doing. Very important. Very important. But I think we're going to end tonight with... last podcast we discussed the decline and possible demise, maybe a bit premature, of Red Sox designated hitter David Ortiz. And just today, well, not just today, a few days ago, the Boston Red Sox had a closed-door meeting. Ooh, players only. I think it was players only. Usually, well, aren't all meetings, don't they usually have the door closed? Meetings usually don't involve the media, right? I guess unless it's the NBA playoffs and they mic you up. Did you see that shot of David Blatt when he was doing the Cleveland Cavaliers coach going over all the information in that last game at the halftime? They showed the video of it, and they just showed J.R. Smith in the background, zoned out into another world. So typical. Hey, you almost had him in the game, though, with those off-balance threes at the end of the game. But where are we going with this? Let's get back to reality. The Red Sox. So Dustin Pedroia, I don't know if he called the meeting, but he had... The team has been slumping. This is no surprise, no secret. And, you know, he let everyone know exactly what the meeting was about.
You know, we're not going to listen to you guys' bullshit. We're just going to go play baseball. You know, that's it. We're going to try to be positive.
But apparently that didn't resonate very well with Pablo Sandoval, because the new third baseman this year, is not playing tonight, this being Thursday night, because he was Instagramming. While the game was going on, Instagramming on the Instagram. He was liking pictures on the Instagram in last night's game. Somebody at Barstool Sports called him out. That's fine. He's not a rat or anything like that, but maybe he shouldn't be doing that. Now, Sandoval, I thought his numbers were worse than this. He's batting .270, 6 home runs, 23 RBIs. I mean, they paid a lot of money to get him, so that's not good. But for some reason, I thought they were just dreadful. Those aren't good. How stupid can you be, though? Apparently, he was in the bathroom. You know, we've all been there on the toilet with our phone. And I'm sure he's not the first person to ever do this, but Pablo, if you're going to go on the internet, if you're going to go on social media, don't let your presence be known. Don't like things. Don't retweet things. That's not good. People will know. They'll put 2 and 2 together. So chicken and beer and video games a few years ago. Now Instagram. You know, John Farrell is, it may not be his fault, but you're having open arguments with Wade Miley in the dugout. You got Pablo Sandoval after a team meeting liking things while on this throne, and the team actually did win a game the other day, but still, when you see things like that, you start to wonder what's going on in this clubhouse. Is that fair to him? Probably not, because they're going to keep losing if they continue to have bad pitching. They're rumored to get Cole Hamels every other day. I think Cole Hamels tricked the media that he was traded the other day, but the only storyline really going on in Philadelphia is who they're going to trade. If they're going to trade Papelbon as well. Will Cole Hamels make that much of a difference with the Red Sox? Yes. Yes, he will. But do you like that? Does Pablo like that? He's liking some chick, too. I guess he just couldn't wait till you get home to like that picture. He admitted his guilt. He said it was stupid. Blah, 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 blah. We get it. But you got to wonder where your head's at sometimes. Alright, it's not that funny. Alright, well, I want to thank everyone for listening. You can always listen to the show on redticketblues.com, iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher, YouTube, the whole deal. And, you know, leave a review. You know, Derek Lucas, the great Derek Lucas, left a review the other day. And I want to thank him for that because I appreciate it. Why can't you people be more like Derek Lucas? You know, I know your whole life you hear your mom and dad say, why can't you be more like Derek Lucas? Well, I'm going to chime in and I'm going to join them in unison. Well, they're not here. But if they were here, we'd be in unison saying, why can't you be more like Derek Lucas? Leave a review and subscribe so you never miss an episode. And you can always follow me on Twitter at BrianBuck13. That's BrianBuck13. I'm out of here.